project 3, just going to help you get started a little bit. So you have every student has a GCC ID number, student ID number. So here's an example ID number, 010555174. So we're just going to build a student ID polynomial where you're going to do x minus a digit and then x plus a digit and then x minus a digit and then x plus a digit. So for our example ID number, we're going to do x minus the first digit 0, x plus the second digit 1, then x minus 0, x plus 5, x minus 5, x plus 1, x minus 7, x plus 4. So this is our student ID number polynomial. You're going to answer a bunch of questions about this polynomial. So many of them involve looking at a graph. We're going to create a graph in GeoGebra and answer questions about it. So there's a couple of graphs here. So this one is a global view, which means you can see the end behavior. You can see the both arms up behavior at the far ends. But then there's some stuff happening like here near the origin that looks like there's 3 zeros, but you can't really tell what they're doing near there. So we kind of zoom in on that and you get a local view of what's happening at these tiny 3 zeros. So let's have GeoGebra graph this and I'll show you how to get the 2 views. All right, so I've got this window small for the moment so that I can see. It's not going to help actually. Grab a copy of the project. There we go. All right, so in my input bar, I'm going to type the formula for my student ID polynomial. So I'm going to have s of x equals x minus 0 times x plus 1 times x minus 0 times x plus 5 times x minus 5 times x plus 1, x minus 7, x plus 4, enter. All right, so there's my graph. It looks kind of crazy. So just going to remind you how to adjust the window to zoom in and out. Okay. So you have to click on this little 4-directional arrow thing, and then you can grab anywhere on the screen by clicking and then just dragging like that. So you can kind of center it that way. And then I want to see, it looks like the graph is like going off of what I can see. So if you hover your mouse over an axis, you can click and hold down and then pull the axis. So I'm just going to keep doing that until I can see the whole graph. I want to be able to see the end behavior. All right, we're getting there. All right, so this is a global view. You can see my Y values are huge. They're at like 300,000 up here. So I can now see the end behavior, like the both arms up end behavior, but it's really hard to see what's happening near the origin because I have so many Y values showing. So this would be one graph that you would submit with your project. You'd print this one, or what I typically do is I go to Edit, Graphics View to Clipboard, and then paste it into like a Word or a Paint or something like that. Usually Word. Where's Word? Oh, whatever. Can't find Word. Okay, so this is one graph that you would include. And then you want to also see all the maxes and mins and zeros. So you can have GeoGebra label them all for you. So you type extremum, and we want the polynomial, and you just type in its name, S of X. And it put points on all of my local extrema, all my local maxes and local mins. And it labeled them with letters. And then it gives the values of those points over here. So maybe I want to see them. So these are important points to know to be able to answer the questions in your project. You might also find it helpful if instead of labeling these with letters, if maybe you want to put the coordinates right on the graph. So you right click, you choose object properties, and instead of in show label, instead of name, you put the value. And then on the graph, it shows the coordinates of the point instead of the letter A. It's up to you how you want to do this. Okay, so then another view, we want to be able to see all of the maxes and mins and all of the zeros well. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I might use this as a view to see that min well. I might scroll down to be able to see the other min. Keep zooming in to be able to see what happens near the origin. So I can see these two zeros. I can see this maximum. I can see these two zeros. So you just zoom, have a combination of pictures of zoomed in and zoomed out so you can capture all the behavior and see what's happening everywhere.